Hi, hello, how are you doing today? I hope you're feeling well. I hope you're feeling booted up and ready to rumble with this workout. So we are doing Pilates for strength and mobility. We're going to crack straight on in just a few seconds. But first off, I just want you to think about gaining your neutral spine. So we always like to start with neutral spine and connect with our pelvic floor, deep abdominals, and get the breath. Once we have that foundation sorted, then it's much easier and much more beneficial, and we get more out of it from executing exercises. So let's get the deep abdominal connection. So we want to think about tucking the pelvis forward and back, bend into the knees, especially if you're quite tight in the lower back. So bend your knees and tuck the pelvis under. So think about shortening the abdominals, pulling the pubis up to your belly button, and then lengthening away. Pulling up, and then lengthening away. So you can feel that happening. Whilst we're there, we're ensuring the knees and the feet are underneath the hips. So we're not staggered, we're not together, we are underneath the hips. And then from there, big toes are in connection with the floor. That's going to help with that medial connection to the inside of the leg, up into the adductors, into the pelvic floor. Now let's bring the breath into this. As we exhale, we have a natural contraction of the abdominals. The pelvic floor lifts, the diaphragm lifts, naturally contracting, and a corset effect around our midsection. That helps with back strength, posture, breathing, function. So we want to ensure that we are getting that established. So as we exhale, we might as well exert at the same time, because we've already got the natural contraction going on. So let's enhance upon that. So we exhale as we draw the abdominals, the pubis up towards the belly button. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale. And as you exhale, think about you're blowing out 100 birthday cake candles, practicing for your centenary. So exhale, and the abdominals will draw in that corset effect around the midsection. All right, let's start mobilising the spine a little bit more. Hands on the bottom of the rib cage, let's circle one way, then the other way. So not only are we pushing back and then under to here, we're pushing forward. Anterior, posterior tilting of the pelvis, we're delving into both. Again, big toes are in contact with the ground. Rib cage is still, so we want to be feeling this through the lower back, through the waist. And actually, if you do have quite a stiff back, this feels fantastic. One more. All right, coming into our neutral stance. So bearing in mind that bringing the pubis up towards the belly button, we're not coming right to here. We're going to find that middle ground between pushing back and all the way in. So think about shortening that area between your pubis and your coccyx. So we're pulling up here. Then all 3 points of the pelvis are looking forward. We then lift up through the chest, allow the abdominals room to do their work and what they need to do. Opening up through the chest, proud stance, and lift your gaze so you're looking just above your horizon. And here we are in our neutral stance. Big toe stand, it might feel odd to begin with if you're not used to it, but this is our proud Pilates posture. We're standing strong, we're standing lifted, we're not slumping down into our spine. We are giving our abdominals room to work, and we're giving our spine, our vertebra, room to stack upon each other without compressing the discs in between. Hands on the rib cage, shoulders down, and you're going to shorten each side. So between the rib cage and the pelvis, we're going to shorten one side and keep the other foot flat on the floor. Big toe down, inside of the heel down as well. If you're one of those people who lean on the outside of the foot, I really want you to pay attention to putting the big toe down and the inside of the heel down onto the floor as well. So our pelvis is designed to move in, numerous different ways. It's not a fused joint. We need it to move in order to accomplish everyday tasks and have functional movements. Let's start building into this. We're going to do a semicircle with the leg, lift and lower. You can take your hands away. We don't want to be holding on because that encourages the tilting of the pelvis. Keep the chest up and open, chin lifted as we delve into hip circumduction. Wonderful. So we're going to have a little add-on to this. One each side, And then open and close the door in standing, one each way. Same again. Semicircle, lift the knee, lower. Same again the other side. Think about your standing posture. Open and close the door. So circumduction at the hip, flexion, where we've got extension, flexion, and then open and close the door into rotation. Take your time with this, we don't need to rush. All the while we've got that deep abdominal connection, pelvic floor connection going on to help aid us stay in our proud Pilates posture, which allows everything to work that little bit better. Alright, little change coming up. Semicircle, lift and lower, both sides, same again. Take a breath in, lift. As you exhale, bring the elbows down behind you. 1, 2, 3, lift up, circle down. Same again. Semicircle, lift and lower through the legs. Pelvis into neutral before we go anywhere. Always, always into neutral. Inhale, lift. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Reach up, circle the arms down. Let's go again. So we're working on balance, coordination, upper back strength. Inhale, exhale, and down. Wonderful. We're adding in again. Semicircle lift. Keep the pelvis looking forward, but turn the knee out. So we're moving the femur within that hip joint. Lift, open, close. Take a breath in. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Inhale and down. Let's go again. Open, close. One side, open, close the other side. Oh, balance, of course. Inhale all the way up. 3, 2, 1. Alright, let's have a little change. Come into a squat. Easy squat. And lift the knee. Same again the other side. Squat. And lift. Inhale. Pulse 3 times. So the back is getting warmed up. Legs are getting a little bit more warmed up. As we delve into those squats. Now if you need to take your feet a little wider for the squats, feel free to do so. Squats, wonderful. Oh, and then one squat, knee lift. My mind totally wandered then. Inhale up. All right, we're going to have a little add in. So squat, come up onto the toes. Same again. Squat, come up onto the toes. Inhale, lift, and then into our 3 pulses. Go again, squat, heel lift. As we go into that heel lift, big toes are pressed into the floor to get that inner leg stimulation. Little change coming up again, more balance coming. We squat once, heel lift, squat twice, heel lift, and then drop down, roll down through your spine. Feel that in your lower back, glutes, hamstrings. Feels lovely. Walk forward into down dog. Have a pedal push 6 times. Roll down dog, and then walk it back up. Feet underneath the hips, knees bent as much as you need. Roll up through your spine. Shoulder roll at the top, squat, up onto the toes, and again squat, up onto the toes. Drop the head around the shoulders, roll down, feel that all the way through the backs of your legs, hamstrings, glutes, then come into down dog, 6 pedal pushes. Big exhale. On our next one, we're going to add in. So we're going to walk in, roll up, shoulder roll at the top, reset on neutral, squat, up onto the toes, same again. And then we come down into our down dog. This time, instead of the pedal pushes, walk into down dog, hold for a moment, and then take the hands slightly further forward into a plank. Option, knees or toes for your plank, and hold 3, 2, 1. Back up into down dog, walk it in, roll it. Same again, squat, and lift. Same again, squat and lift. Roll down. So you can be at the back of your mat, save having to go from the middle to the back, to the middle to the back. I do that just so you can see what I'm doing. Down dog, plank, 3, 2, 1. Back up into down dog, walk it in, and roll up. All right, one more time through, and then we're going to be staying down. Squat, and then roll down, and we're going to be staying down on the ground now. Roll all the way down, walk forward into down dog, push forward into plank, hold 3, 2, 1, knees down, arch out through the spine and sit back into child's pose. Now child's pose is yours, you can have your knees together or apart, it depends what feels good for you. Alright then, up onto all fours. So we're getting that abdominal contraction going on. So the pelvic floor pull, the pubis to coccyx, think about shortening there, and then our deep abdominals blowing out those 100 birthday cake candles. We then push forward over the hands, so the shoulders are over the hands, knees underneath the hips. We got that? Let's open up, right arm lift, travel under. Mobilising through the thoracic spine. Other side, open up, travel through. We then take the legs back into plank or knees into plank and hold 3, 2, 1, and then bring it back in. You can see the common theme. So we rotate through the thoracic, get some mobility there. Open up again, travel. We come down, step back into plank. 3, 2, 1. It's not long to hold, so it's manageable for most people, but if you do need to modify, you can go on your knees instead. Now even when we're doing the needle thread here, we still need to be pushing forward into shoulders. 3, 2, 1, bring it down. Alright, if you want to progress, you're going to come with me now. If you don't want to, if you're quite happy doing what we're doing, stick with holding the plank for 3 counts. So this is where we're adding in. Needle thread, step back into plank and bring your knee to the same side elbow once per side. Then bring it back in to a plank. Think about what you're doing. We're not rushing through, we're taking our time. So we're not thinking like get up into plank quick, get those knees in and then get down quick. It needs to be considered. We take our time doing it. So we step back into plank, knee, same side elbow, same again the other side, and then back onto the knees. Taking our time. We go again. Really enjoying this movement. All right, we're going to do one more time through. Before we move into a little bit more back mobility. Last one. Down to the knees. Sit back into child's pose. Feeling a bit warm now after that. That was a warm one. Definitely a warm one. So why don't we venture into a little bit more back work. So we lay on our front in prone position. You can have your head on your forehead, on your hands there. Pull your shoulders back and relax here. So even though we're lying down, we still want to get that neutral spine. So we still want to be bracing through the abdominals, not aggressively bracing, but we've got that connection. Pelvic floor pull, press the pubis into the ground as we are here. So we're going to lift one leg, pressing that hip bone into the ground at the same time. Bend the knee, extend, and then bring it down. Same again the other side. Lift, bend, extend, and down. So that's where we're starting. Now what we'd like to achieve here, also point to the pelvis and looking into the floor. So when we are lifting, we're not rotating through the spine at this moment in time. So if you feel ready to progress, you bend the knee, flex the foot and pulse 3, 2, 1, then extend and lower. Same again this side, bend, we lift, bend, point the toes to the floor, pulse 3, 2, 1, extend and lower. Same again. All the while, chest is on the floor. We're working on back strength right here. So the back is supporting what's going on. Glutes and hamstrings are very much key players here. Which is what we need for good posture, balance. So we're working those well. One more time each side. That last one. Let's get a little bit more into the upper body. Elbows underneath the shoulders, shoulders pulled back away from the ears. Look forward, lift your gaze, press into the floor with your elbows, pulling the shoulders back. So you're going to feel this in your lats, so towards your armpits, just behind the armpits. We're lifting up, we then come down. We go again, exhale, lift. Each time we lift, we're aiming to lift using the back as opposed to pressing into the floor. Pressing into the floor is good to begin with, to get us into that movement, but then we can progress it. We can exhale. So pelvic floor pull, abdominals are braced, exhale, lift. And down. Option number 2, elbows are underneath the shoulders but hands are on the floor. And as we exhale, we come up higher. And then down, relax through your toes unless you want cramp in your toes. Exhale. You want to be using our upper back muscles and being supported by the arms. So for people who have got compressed lower backs who are quite tight and do a lot of work, you might want to stick with the elbows down first, especially whilst we get the deep core connected into this. Once the deep core is connected into this, it makes such a difference in your back strength. So a couple more. Option again, hands underneath shoulders, elbows in. As we exhale, we lift higher. We don't want to strain ourselves. And again. Exhale. 100 birthday cake candles are blowing out. Shoulders away from the ears. Alright, we're going to do 2 more here. Again, option which one you're all going for. So this is building strength in the arms as well. And mobility in the spine. One more time. Fantastic. All the way back down. roll onto your side, and then onto your back. Pull your knees into your chest. So we're not crossing the ankles as you pull the knees into the chest. Just pull the knees in, relax your back. Great stuff. Bring the feet to the floor. So again, back mobility and strength, plus obviously a little bit of core as well going on here. So feet are a comfortable distance from your bum. We're going to wag our pelvis like wagging a tail to find the neutral. So you're pressing your lower back towards the floor, not hammering it down. All 3 points of the pelvis look to the ceiling, and we make sure there's an even distance between the bottom of the rib cage and the top of the pelvis as well. We're going to exhale, pelvic floor pull, abdominal brace, come up into shoulder bridge, roll back down, hands by the ears, shoulders lift off the floor, look at your knees, and bring the knees in. 3, 2, 1, bring it back down and lower. So this is our foundation. This is what we're going to be building from. Up into shoulder bridge. Roll down. Hands by the ears. Pull the shoulders off. Give yourself a double chin. Go on, go for it. Knees, eyes looking at knees. Lift the heels, lift the toes. 3, 2, 1. Now when we are doing those curls, the reverse curls, what's happening? We don't want the abdominals to stick up. We are exhaling. We've got the pelvic floor pull, lower abdominal brace, enhance that here. The abdominals are drawn in, not pushing out. And then the knees up, reinforcing that. All right, let's add on. Let's have a little change. Right ankle on top of left knee. Check the pelvis. You can put your hands on your pelvis. Come up into shoulder bridge. It's single leg shoulder bridge. That left knee, we're not having it driving in, having it driving in line with the hip, pushing out a little bit. Roll back down. Hands by the ears. Exhale. 3, 2, 1, and then roll back down. Other side. Left ankle on top of right knee. Drive that left knee away. Right knee driving out. It's not falling in. Pelvis level. So again, put your hands on your pelvis to make sure it's level. And roll up into shoulder bridge. So watch we don't drop out through that hip. You've got to really secure that right hip that we're working through. Roll down. Hands by the ears. Curl up and bring 3, 2, 1. Makes it a lot more difficult. The option, you can stick with the original. You don't have to go into the single leg shoulder bridge, and you don't have to go into the lifting and lowering in the figure 4 position. So this is great for glute mobility, core strength. So we're going to add into this as well. After this one, we're going to add in. Come up, shoulder bridge. Roll back down. Hands by the ears. Curl, look at the knees. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's add in a little bit more back flexibility. Here we go. Come up into single leg shoulder bridge. Roll back down. Hands by the ears. Curl, look. 3, 2, 1. Left, the toes of the left foot go down. Arms go wide. And we drop the legs side to side. And just do once per side. Just to ease it off. Switch sides. We roll up into our shoulder bridge. Single leg shoulder bridge. Figure 4 position. Roll down. Hands by the ears. Curl. Look at the knees. 3, 2, 1. Toes down. Arms wide. And drop the legs side to side. If you do suffer with your lower back, this is a wonderful stretch. So morning times in particular, if your back is feeling particularly tight, just putting the ankle on the opposite knee, arms wide, and dropping the hips side to side, getting that lovely stretch through the glutes, through the lower back, makes such a difference. And it's an easy way to get the back mobile and release that tension. Grab that heel down, big toe into the floor. Wonderful. All right, we're going to do it one more time each side before we move on. This is it. Final time each side. Ankle on the opposite knee. Roll up. Big toe down. Inside of the heel down. Pelvis level. Firing up through the hamstrings, glutes. Lift the shoulders. Pulse 3, 2, 1. Toes down and we drop side to side. So each time we drop side to side, hopefully getting a little bit more deeper into that stretch. All right, one more time through. This is it, last one. Ankle on the knee, roll up. And down. Hands by the ears, curl. 3, 2, 1. Toes down, arms wide. One each way. Bring the knees in. Again, we don't cross the ankles. Have them apart. Wonderful. How are you feeling so far? So either roll onto your side then up to seated or straight up to seated. All right, spine, shoulders and chest. And legs, of course. So feet outside of hips, well outside of hips, whatever's comfortable for you. Sit back, so right onto the sit bones. Arms are below shoulder line, so we're going to rotate one way, rotate the other way. Reach forward, press the backs of your legs into the floor as you do a spinal stretch. Arms go behind you, legs come in and lift up through the chest. Feel that stretch all the way through the chest, the front of the shoulders, potentially down your arms as well. And then we go again. Arms wide, sit back, rotate one way, then the other way, press the legs into the floor and reach. Arms go behind, fingertips point towards your bum, legs together and lift up through the chest. All right, one more time before we change, or we add in. Rotate one way, all the way, press the legs into the ground, reach. Hands go behind and stretch here. Wonderful. So we're going to have a little change here. Rotate one way, then the other way. Spine stretch. And then bring your right leg in. Heart looks at the right knee. Left hand on the outside of the right leg. Reach up over the head. Once and twice. Exhale as you reach in the direction of your toes. We swap sides. Right hand to the outside of the left knee. Heart looks at that left knee. Exhale. Reach up over your head in the direction of your toes. Don't worry if you don't touch your toes. Part the legs. Bring the legs together. Hands go back and lift up through the chest. Go again. Legs wide, arms wide, rotate one way, other way. Spine stretch, reach all the way forward, press your legs into the floor. Right leg comes in, heart looks at the right knee, reach over the head twice in the direction of the toes. Exhale as you reach in, inhale as you come back out, swap sides. As you swap sides, our aim is to swap without having to pull the leg. Let's go wide. Use the adductors, pelvic floor to pull in. And lift. All right, little add in here. So we rotate and reach towards the opposite foot. Same again, rotate and reach. Center, spine stretch. Pressing those legs into the floor. Right leg comes in. Heart looks at the right knee. Right arm up over, reaching towards those left toes twice. Use the hip flexors to change the legs without touching. Heart looks at the right, at the left knee, left arm up over the head twice. Part the legs without touching, without lifting them. Bring them in, hands behind, lift. So by now, hopefully your chest, your shoulders will be easing, especially because we are adding in a little bit of a reach. We're doing a hold. So we're working on the strength of them, increasing the blood flow of the area. And by increasing the blood flow of the area, the pliability of the muscle enhances. Think of blue tack. You warm up blue tack and it stretches more. Muscles are the same. You warm them up, make them more pliable. All right, we're going to do one more time through. Leg goes wide, legs come in, hands behind, stretch the chest. Last time through, legs go wide, rotate each way. You can add in the reach as well if you want to do the reach. Spine stretch. Bring the right leg in. Reach up over the head with the right arm in the direction of his left toes. Exhale to reach. Inhale to come back out. Same again. Legs go wide. Bring them in. Hands back and lift up through the chest. Wonderful. Bring the soles of the feet together, open up the hips. Relax through your inner thighs, take a few deep breaths. We inhale, take a deep breath, lift your shoulders up. Exhale, sink down a little bit more. Arch your back out. Take another deep breath in. Press your elbows into your inner thighs and press your inner thighs into your elbows as you take a breath in and exhale, drop them away. We do that one more time. Press the knees into the elbows. Breathe and drop them down a little bit more. Hopefully that helps you open up your hips slightly more. Just allow yourself that time to decompress. Take a couple of deep breaths. Think about what you've accomplished in that session. Think about the way your body feels now compared to how it did at the start. Think about the backs of your legs. Think about your spine. Think about if you're holding tension anywhere, and if so, let's relinquish that. Let's exhale and encourage that tension to dissipate. Deep breath in and slow breath out. Our next deep breath in, we roll up slightly, partially cross the legs so they're not sitting under each other, and reach the arm up over the head. Coming into lateral flexion, just reminding the spine what it's capable of. And then into our rotation, hand to opposite knee. One more each side. Then bring the hands forward onto all fours and roll through the spine. Really mobilise. Feel every movement in your spine. Doesn't that feel great? One more. Arch the back, tuck the toes, come up into down dog. Have a hold. Feel the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, the glutes. How is that feeling? Keeping your feet hip distance apart. Walk your hands in towards your feet, bending the knees as you need to. Make sure they are symmetrical. We're loading up. Big toe, inside of the heel, outside of the heel, little toe. We've got even weight distribution. Drop your head. Allow your upper body to dangle, pushing some weight into the balls of the feet as well as the heels. So we're trying to stack the hips above the knees. Now from here, bend the knees as much as you need to and roll up through your spine, vertebra by vertebra, slow as you like, no need to rush. Take a breath in at the top. Exhale, arms wide, throw the arms. Second, take a breath in. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more. Hold at the top. Pelvis into neutral. Round chest. Your chin is lifted so you're looking above your horizon. And give yourself a round of applause. Thank you for joining me for that session. I hope you feel more mobile. I hope you feel more energized and you're ready for the rest of the day ahead. Have a great one. Let me know how you get on in the comments and I'll see you next time.